Hey everyone, we're Tom and Bunny, and we're coming to you with a little introductory video on the diesel discounts for Indiana transport.
Correct, because definitely it is a learning curve, and you've got to learn how to work that card to your best advantage.
Right. We weren't asked to do this video, but we thought maybe it'll help them help you be more successful because we'll just kind of tell you how it works from our personal experience.
Correct.
We've been driving for Indiana now since March and of 2021.
Almost a year.
Almost a year, and we're enjoying every bit of the ride. And one thing that we learned real fast was that you get a diesel discount with the Comdata card that you'll be issued, or you've already been issued.
Yes.
We don't know. Maybe you're watching this before orientation. Hopefully you're watching this before orientation.
Right. That way you can learn before you get on your first dispatch.
Exactly. If you're watching this before orientation and you have not done so, our number one recommendation for this business to be successful is to get an auxiliary fuel tank.
It'll save you a ton of money down the road.
Right. And you know what? Before you just run out and buy a 118-gallon tank, talk to other drivers and find out why they chose their tank over another tank. And we're going to be doing a video and putting it on our YouTube channel of why we chose our auxiliary tank over some of the others.
Absolutely.
So with that said, definitely invest. Make it a business investment in yourself and your RV transporting to get an auxiliary fuel tank.
Right. You know what? In the beginning, we were anti. We're like, why do we need an auxiliary tank?
That was our personal money.
It was our personal money. And a friend of ours who actually pulls multi-haul for Indiana said, stop looking at it as personal. This is now business, and you need to utilize that tank to make your most money.
And it's a write-off.
Yes.
So
biggest thing.
You're going to want as all the write-offs as you can in this business, especially if you're 1099. So that is definitely something to consider. So with that said, they're going to give you a Comdata card. And we're going to put a kind of an image of a Comdata card. It may not be the exact one. We're not going to put ours up there. We don't want, well, I guess you could. No, not use ours. So they have already had you, or will have you download an app on your phone called Fleet Advance. This is the image right here, what it should look like in the App Store.
Yes.
When you download that, Indiana will have you come in during your orientation, typically about right after lunch or around lunchtime or before or after lunch, and they will set up all your apps for your load board as well as Comdata and the Fleet Advance. The Fleet Advance is where you find the cheap fuel. The Comdata is how you get paid and transfer your money, use it as a credit card, and you use it in the fuel pumps.
Yes.
So that's how you're going to track how much you spend on your actual Comdata credit card. Right?
That is the truth.
Okay.
Yes.
People say I talk too much.
I wonder why.
So now, with that said, when you go into Fleet Advance, the first thing you're going to see is this screen right here. You will click, you'll see your credit card name or your name and the last 4 digits of your Comdata card. Bunny has hers on her app. I have mine on my app on my phone. We're both drivers.
Yes.
Woohoo! So now there's a little icon on the bottom that says Find Fuel. You click that and you're going to come up with, would you stop playing footsies with me? You're going to come up with a little map and a circle, and the circle is going to highlight an area. And if there are fuel stations in your particular area, and I don't know, it's probably 25 miles circumference, they'll start popping up, and the cheapest one will come up in green. Basically, on the upper left, you'll see a search bar across the top. The little arrow that's to the left of the search bar, it's a little circle with an arrow kind of pointing up to the right. That is to relocate you back to your current location. So if you search for a fuel station in a specific city and state, and you want to go back to where you are, you just click that button and it'll just bring you right back to reality. To the right of that, you have map view and list view. When you're looking at the map view and you see all the fuel stations, you click list and it's going to list all the fuel stations from the cheapest to the more expensive. The nice thing about it is they're all going to be within a certain range. So, and typically, you're not going to go out of your way if you do it ahead of time.
Right. So your biggest thing is when you get your dispatch, if you don't know the area that you're going into, you want to do a map to that area. And then typically, and I can't even say it's the big cities, because sometimes it's not the big cities where you're getting your discounts, but you're going to want to kind of map that out
25 miles at a
time to find out where your cheapest fuel is going to be.
Right. And then we take screenshots of those so that way we know. And now when you're back into your list view, when you decide on a fuel station, you click on that fuel station. Now, me and Bunny don't always go with the cheapest fuel. We go with the rewards. We like Pilot and Flying J. We typically see TA and Petro is a penny less a gallon, and Pilot Flying J is usually a penny to 3 cents more. We like the rewards at Pilot and Flying J, and with Indiana Transport, we get 3 points per gallon to start.
Right, but you have to get a commercial
rewards
card at Pilot in order to utilize those rewards.
Absolutely. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go onto the Pilot, download the Pilot app, sign up for the rewards card, or go to Pilot and get a physical card so you could slide it in the pump. That's actually a better deal.
But don't do it for RVs because it's completely different and you won't get your discount. You got to do it as a commercial driver.
Yes, very, very important. So when you set that up, every 14 gallons you'll get a half of a shower. I'm not sure how it works with Indiana because we always fill up more. Mm-hmm. At 50 gallons, we used to get one shower just on standard. Now we're getting a shower and a half because of the Indiana Transport rewards.
Yes.
Like I said, we get 3 points per gallon, so for every 50 gallons, we get $1.50 in rewards to spend inside the store. Mm-hmm. Another thing that we learned is with that rewards card, when you go into the store to get your receipt, always ask for your receipt before you put your coffee refill, because once they see you put 50, 75 gallons in your fuel, a lot of times they just say keep the coffee. So you get a little perks and bonuses there.
Yeah.
But with that said, that's why we choose a penny or two more per gallon than the cheapest. Some people will go with the TA Petro all day long, and there's no right or wrong. Once we decide what station we want, we click on it in the list view, and it's going to pop up another screen, and in that screen it's going to show you what you are expected to pay per gallon and what everyone else is going to pay per gallon. Example, we just looked it up last night. Boise, Idaho, $4.29 a gallon. Indiana Transport driver price, $3.02 a gallon. This is as of January 2nd, 2022. Right. So it's going to change all the time. But that gives you an example of $1.27 a gallon cheaper than everyone else is going to pay. That's a lot.
That's huge.
That's huge. So when you're looking at your cost per mile, when you get dispatched, we take those savings into account as part of our cost per mile. So when we get dispatched at a certain cost per mile, after our whole dispatch is done, we take all the fuel savings across from Elkhart, Indiana to where we drop, and we divide that amongst the miles to get whatever savings we got, mm-hmm. and then we add that to our cost per mile because we didn't pay what everyone else paid.
Right, exactly. Now, one of the biggest things that you're going to have to pay attention to is you got to make sure that you're going to the correct fuel station.
Yes.
There are a lot of pilots out there that might have 2 or 3 in the same general vicinity.
On the same off ramp on each corner.
Yeah, literally right across the street from each other. If you go to the one across the street,
you're going to
pay pump prices. You've got to be very specific. Even if it says take me there and Tom's in line at the pump, I will run in and verify, is this store 301?
When you click on the list and you click the fuel station, it's going to tell you, obviously, we'll use Pilot as an example. Pilot number 262. First thing Bunny's going to do is walk into the fuel desk and say, am I at Pilot 262? And if they say yes, we're good to go. If they say no, we ask them, where's Pilot 262? It's on the other side of the freeway on the left side because there's one on the right side. Yeah. We learned this. This is how we learned the fuel thing. So you only learn it once.
Right.
And you get the slap on the wrist and then you very quickly.
Slap on the wrist. Sometimes it can be a kick in the butt.
Right. So when you open up that, you'll see how much you're going to pay, how much everyone else is going to pay. There's a take me there. That opens up Google Maps. Follow that all the way to the station because that's where we screwed up. When we came off the off-ramp, I didn't realize it was saying come off the off-ramp, make a left, go over the bridge, and make another left. I just saw a Pilot right in front of me and went, oh, there it is. And I ended up paying pump prices at that point.
Yes.
Now, if you want to search, one of the things that I learned on searching is when you're in the list view and you search, it's really a hit or miss. So I always go back into map view and then I type in the city, comma, and the state abbreviation I always put in capital letters. I have put it in lowercase and sometimes it'll say can't find fuel stations and I know there's fuel stations. I change it to uppercase abbreviation and all of a sudden all the stations start popping up. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of a key thing to note.
Absolutely. I don't think that we touched on this one too, that when you are filling up, it is very important and you have to go through the fuel islands with the diesels in order to get that discount.
That we probably should have said in the very beginning.
We should have said that in the very beginning.
We learned really fast. You got to go where the big rigs go through. And I know it can be intimidating because you're pulled in there with a little pickup truck and a 30-foot travel trailer and you got all these diesel truckers just sitting there just staring at you and they think you're killing their clock, but in reality you are a commercial driver as well. You have every right to be in that fuel island at the same time as they are. So you have to go through that to get your diesel discount. You're going to slide your Comdata card in the pump. It's going to first, once you slide that in, it's going to ask you for your rewards card. You slide that in, it's going to ask you for your employee ID or your truck number. I just use my employee ID. I have 2 trucks, but the employee ID I remember off the top of my head, and it accepts it, so I'm good to go on that.
It does accept the wrong number because I never remember my employee number and somebody else is getting all kinds of credit for
or someone else is getting dinged on their logbooks. But no, it comes back to us. And then it's going to ask you if you want tractor. Yes. Mm-hmm. So you want to select tractor because that's your pickup truck. It's going to ask you if you want the reefer. And, of course, I hit no. All right, let's ask tractor, and reefer.
Yeah.
So hit tractor. It's going to ask you if you want DEF. I personally fill up at the pump the DEF. A lot of people are against it. I haven't had any issues. I always keep my DEF tank full, so I'm good there. A little bit pricey sometimes. And then I just hit no the rest of the time. It's going to ask me if I want a cash advance. Do I want other additives or DEF or anything from the store? And then it says continue. I click continue, and then you're able to fill up. When you put the nozzle on the pump, your Comdata will almost be just as fast charged how much you pay per gallon. So when you go in and get the receipt, and go in and get the receipt for your tax purposes because that's what you're going to write off. But your Comdata, you can look at the app, see how many gallons that you pumped in, and divide the two, and then you'll see what you paid per gallon, and you'll see that you paid the proper rate. On your Comdata card, you are charged a $1.50 fee for every fill up after your first replenishment of your money. So when you dispatch and they put money on your card, your first time you put fuel in the fuel islands, there is no fee. However, after that, it's a $1.50. So when you do the math, you got to take an account, and it'll tell you on your Comdata app there was a $1.50 fee. When you drop your trailer, your next fill up is with no fees. So every time Indiana Transport puts money on your card, and it's kind of interesting, even if they put a little bit of money because a toll road got missed or something got missed, it's like replenishing and you don't have to pay that fee. So that's just a little side note.
But also, too, going back to having the Pilot Rewards card, if you're pumping 50 gallons, you're saving $1.50, so it just counteracts everything.
And you get a free shower, a shower and a half, and the showers are worth $12. So you're making money doing that and everything. Plus, we've learned there's another card out there called EFS, and they have fees too. But Comdata in Indiana, we found that with the fees and everything, we're actually still paying less. Yes. So we're actually benefiting more.
Correct.
So on that, am I forgetting anything?
Nope. Just basically, it is a learn as you go business. We want to give you one step quicker to making the most money that you possibly can. And hopefully we help you out.
Yep. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact us, and we just hope all of you have nothing but success, and we hope our video helped you out.
Absolutely.
Well, until then,
we'll see you down the road.
We'll see you down the road.